Good evening and welcome to Lane Community College. My name is Knight Uretsky. I'm joined alongside Austin Oda, and today the Lane Titans, they're hosting the Linn-Benton Roadrunners. We got a doubleheader today. We got the girls game coming up right now. The women's basketball team about to take on for the tip-off. Lane, number 1 in women's basketball. Men's basketball, they're number 3. Their game's coming up right after this one. But the number 1 undefeated Titans, 22-0 overall, facing off against the Roadrunners, 14-9. About to get set for the opening tip, and we're off and underway as Maddie Birch corrals it. They're going to give it to Ball to start, and she'll pull up from mid-range and hit it. 2-0 Lane to go off here in the early part.
Good start for the Titans, winning the tip, actually taking it out of the hands of LBCC and being able to finish from mid-range is Mechanic.
Parks in the backcourt, gets it to the front court, throws it up now for Hanklitz. She'll drop it off down low for Hale. Hale turns around, fires it off the backboard, no good. Cooper corrals it and throws it up the floor for Birch, who gives it to Makinich. She'll drive the left lane, goes up with her left hand, count the basket and one. The Titans off to a great start, back-to-back baskets to start, and we have a and one play from Kendra Makinich.
Even early in this game, it's easy to see why Lane is sitting at 22-0. They just have so much talent oozing throughout their roster and a 4-0 lead. I spoke a little too soon there.
4-0 as Makinich misses the and one play. In the backcourt, Linn-Benton's pressed by this stingy Lane full court press. And 10 seconds, and the full court press works to the advantage of the Titans. A turnover to start.
You know, Linn-Benton sitting at 14-9. They did start the season 7-0 and have just gone 7-9 since then. But you know, they're looking for a big upset here. Not the start they wanted.
Cooper down the left lane. She'll pull up from mid-range and hit it. 6-0 now for the Titans. Again, the full court press as Parks finally beats it. She gives it up the floor now for Davidson. Back out, and they give it to the top. Ayers will angle her way to the right before dropping it off to the top. Parks with it. Swings it over to the right side. Ayers gets a screen, picks up her dribble. Got it poked away from Birch. The ball's on the floor, but LBCC comes up with it. Throwing it up and in now is Albee, and it's now 6-2.
Nice finish there. You know, Lane's defense was pretty stingy there for about 25 seconds, but able to beat the clock at the end was Albee. And
Sarah Ball hits the shot, count the basket and one. A layup on the right side, and it's now 8-2 for Lane with a chance to make it 9-2.
Sarah Ball did a good job there getting inside, finishing with the right through traffic. You know, it was almost like a baby hook that went off glass, and she extends the Lane lead.
Misses the free throw, so Lane today 0 for 2 at the line. Be interesting to see if that trend continues throughout the game. Ayers almost threw it away, picked up by Albee. Swings it over to the left side, three-pointer up, and airballed from Hankiewicz. Just bounces out of bounds, and it's Titan basketball.
You know, that's still a good look for Hankiewicz, and they were Linn-Benton was able to get a Titan defender on the floor and swing it to the perimeter. If they're going to win, they're going to need to hit some more of their outside shots.
Makinich down the left lane, goes up with her left hand and finishes. 10-2 for the Titans. That prompts a timeout. 7:48 to play here in the first quarter. And the Titans right now offensively seem to have no challenge at all.
Yeah, they've been absolutely tremendous tonight. They've hit all 5 of their field goal attempts, have missed both of their free throws, but 5-5 from the field, that's obviously a good recipe for success for Lane.
Absolutely, and I think right now, the story offensively at least, has been the play from Kendra Makinich. She's been able to get a couple of baskets and really use that left lane to her advantage.
Yeah, she's been great. You know, you'd think someone right-hand dominant has a stronger right hand, but she's been able to, I think that was what Linn-Benton expected coming into this game, and so they're trying to close off the right side to her, but she's done a nice job taking advantage of being able to hit the hole with her left and, you know, finish inside.
Lane's off to a better start today than they were last week. The half last week, they were up by about 12 points, but with under a minute to go in that game against Clark, it was about an 8-point game. They then went on a 24-1 run, able to pull away from Clark at the end. Right now off to a better start as we find ourselves here early part of the first quarter. Again, Lane this season undefeated. They've won 20 of their 22 games this season by 20-plus points. Their only time they didn't win by 20-plus points, that was against number 2 Clackamas in the early part of February. Full court press again. Parks inbound. Gets it in now for Albee. Throws it up the floor for Hankwitz, and she'll dribble it into the front court. And it's a steal. Cooper comes up with it, throws it up the floor for Hamill. Right hand blocked but fouled.
Wow, this Lane Titans defense has been absolutely tremendous tonight. You know, that was one of the first times tonight LBCC has even crossed the half court, and as soon as she did, she threw the ball away, and Lane's able to get themselves to the line. Yeah,
this full court defense for Lane is really, really good. It's been really solid all year, and their team is playing their best when their defense is working the best. But right now, we're seeing a lot of struggle at the free throw line. 0 for 3 as Hamill misses the first free throw. Second free throw off to the left. So Lane 0 for 4 to start at the foul line. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be LBCC basketball. Lane as a team is shooting 75.4% as a team. Today, it just hasn't been that story.
Yeah, you know, it's not very often that a team has a better field goal percentage than their free throw percentage, but you know, Lane up by 8.
Full court press again, almost causes a turnover. LBCC gets it into the front court, and they'll reset at the point. Ayers directs traffic, gives it over to Parks. She's looking for a pass, finds Hankwitz, a three-pointer. Off to the left, Makinich finds it. Up the floor, Kedra pushes. Drops it in the corner, Hamill, a three-pointer. Off too strong. And it's grabbed by Hankwitz. She falls to the floor, and not sure if we're going to get a foul or a turnover. It's going to stay here with Lane.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought they were going to call a foul there, but there weren't any Titans there trying to grab that rebound. It was kind of just like she fell out of bounds off of her own teammate.
All the referees converge and clear things up. It's still going to be Lane basketball.
Maybe.
And now we'll see.
I think they're debating where to set the shot clock right now.
30 seconds on the shot clock. Makinich to inbound. Throws it into the post for ball. Turnaround, fadeaway. No good. But she got her own board. Out for Birch. Open three-pointer. Bottoms it. 13-2. The Titans with the lead.
Yeah, Maddie Birch, a terrific three-point shooter at 36% on the season. You can't give her that much space and expect her to not make it.
Just barely able to get it up the half-court point with 9 seconds in. Now a three-pointer airballed from Albee. Hankwitz finds the offensive board, gets it to the top. Ayers gives it over to Parks, backing her way in on Hamill. Contested shot, she's fouled.
Good move there inside by Ayers to, body her way through the post, get herself to the line. It's a good idea for Linn-Benton to stop the clock and maybe, try to get some more free throws like they are here. Down 11 already early in this one.
Parks, first free throw is good, and it's 13-3. Parks is a freshman forward from Tacoma, Washington. Making the trip down south to Albany. She makes the second one. Makinich brings it up the floor for the Titans. 6:15 to play. Gives it to Ball at the high post. Dribbles it to the elbow, back out for Birch. Takes a dribble for giving it to Hamill on the left wing. Down to the low post for Makinich. Spins her way around, reverse layup. No good, and it's rebounded by Parks. Cooper gets back on the defensive end for the Titans. Albee brings it up the floor. Gives it to Parks. She's at the point. Right wing, three-pointer. Albee off to the left, Ball with the board.
Good looks, though, for LBCC. They're good. If they convert on a couple more of those, they've had a couple really good looks from outside. This could be a ball game.
They go back to Ball at the high post. She'll have a high-low entry to the low post. Gives it to Birch. Right hand too strong off the backboard. Hamill kicks it out, though, for Cooper, and they'll reset at the point. Makinich behind her back. Gets a screen from Ball. Angling her way to the low post. Goes up with her left hand. Short. Ball gets it. Out for Birch. Wide open three-pointer. Short. Hamill comes up with another offensive rebound. Ball from the elbow, no good. And finally a defensive rebound from Linn-Benton. They throw it up the floor. Hankwitz, good defense from Birch, getting back, blocks it, and it's lane basketball.
Wow, phenomenal defense there inside by Maddie Birch. On the transition layup, was able to clean block the shot from the Linn-Benton player, and Lane gets the ball back.
Cooper right lane is fouled. The bench has given Maddie Birch a round of applause after that defensive performance. It leads to an offensive chance here at the foul line for Morgan Cooper.
You know, on the other end, it was Brooklyn Hankwitz trying to repay Lane with the favor, you know, of that block on the other end. She just hit the shooter as she was shooting it and picks up her foul. It's already her second, so Hankwitz might have to check out soon.
As Cooper makes the free throw. And Hankowitz would be a huge loss on this team on the floor. She had 20 points in their last game. As Cooper drills the second one, substitutions come. McKinney in for Cooper. Also have Barbie coming into the game now for Hankwitz. Under 5 minutes to play, 15-4, the Titans with the lead. In the backcourt, trying to get it to the front court, and they do just again with 9 seconds. They throw it up. Barbie no good on a bank shot. Rebounded offensively, going up again. Davidson no good. Out of bounds off of the Roadrunners.
Another great defensive possession from these Lane Titans. You know, they subbed in their bench unit, and the bench can still defend with the best of them, and that's exactly what they did there.
McKinney up the floor. Gets a screen from Ball. Brings it to the point, down to the elbow, kicks it out for Shepley. She'll get a screen. Long mid-range jumper from 18 feet, no good. Ball bounced out and corralled by Ayers. Roadrunners at the top. Rayon into the paint, kicks it into the short corner. Parks puts up a mid-range, airballed strong. Ball with the board. Ball up the near side of the court, kicks it to Shepley. She'll angle her way inside the arc. Out for Makinich, three-pointer, good. Kedra Makinich, a three-pointer, and the Titans go up 18-4.
Makinich sitting at 11 points a game on the season. That's already her 7th here tonight, with still with 3:30 to go in the first quarter.
In the backcourt, Greg Sheely is calling for a 10-second violation. It was awfully close. They don't give it to him. Rayon hands it off to Parks. Drops it to the foul line. Out to the left wing. Rayon, a three-pointer. Bounces right back to her. Got her own board. Hands it off to Parks at the high post. Dribbles it to the left elbow. Out to the right wing. Parks, no good on a shot. Excuse me, Barbie, no good on the shot. Hamill up the floor for McKinney. McKinney into the paint. Drops it down low for Ball. Almost an excellent pass. Goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover by the Titans.
Good idea, though, on that backdoor pass from McKinney. Just couldn't find the hands of Ball, and a turnover for Lane. They've done a really, really solid job tonight of not turning the ball over. That's only their first of the night, so good to see here from Lane, not turning the ball over early.
Krebs now checks into the game for the Roadrunners. She'll get it up for Rayon. Trapped in the backcourt, throws it up the floor. It's a turnover. The Titans come up with it again. Shepley, right wing, throws it down low for Hamill. Rejected by the rim, and it's picked up by Parks.
Beautiful feed, though, from Shepley. Looked like she almost faked a three. We saw them working on this in warm-ups, actually, where they faked the shot and instead finished the pass. Just was rejected by the rim inside.
Roadrunners go to Park at the foul line. Pump fakes to the left elbow, out to the right wing. Rayon, a three-pointer, off to the right, tipped out. Hamill comes up with it. 2:10 to play, a 14-point lead by the Titans. Hamill to the left wing for Shepley. She'll drive inside the arc, go up with her right hand, and finishes.
Pretty finish high off the glass from Shepley. Extends the Lane lead to 16.
Lane again with the full court press. It's been causing the Roadrunners trouble all night. They throw it up the floor, and it's another turnover. McKinney now in the midcourt. She'll pull up for three. Off to the left. Parks corrals it in the corner. 1:35 left. Roadrunners get it to the front court this time. Malone tried to pick it away. They go down to the low block. Hale up and off the rim. McKinney the board.
Wow, this Lane defense just not letting anything in. Obviously, they've only let up 4 points, but they're also just not letting up good looks.
Offensive rebound from Ball. Puts it up and in. No trouble at all. 22-4. Titans commanding this game.
You know, more on the Lane defense. A lot of the time with a good defensive game, you know, you're going to have some open misses. Lane isn't giving up any good looks. They're defending every play to their best of the abilities, and that's why LBCC only has 4 points.
Parks looking around. Gives it over now. Krebs. She'll put up a 3-ball off the heel of the rim. And it's out of bounds off of the Roadrunners. 44.8 seconds to play. First quarter. Titans basketball is Birch and Cooper checking into the game for Shepley and Hamill.
I think that possession was a beautiful display of the perfect, the ideal Lane defense. They had Krebs open on the wing, but instead of leaving her open, you know, she had enough time to set up and set a shot. Instead of just letting her shoot, 2 Lane defenders crashed on her and were able to alter that shot.
Malone at the top, kicks it to McKinney, right wing. Going down to the low block for Birch, and a foul's going to be called. And it's going to be a foul on Birch. That's her first second team foul for the Titans. 33.1 seconds remaining. Got a 3-second difference between the shot and game clock. Raylon goes back. They get it up the floor with 2 seconds to spare. Krebs bounces it over to Raylon. She'll drive in the arc, drops it down low. And no good on the shot. And then putting it back and in, Hale. McKinney, she'll drive inside, goes up with her left hand, finishes. As the buzzer sounds, the Titans lead 24-6 after that first quarter. And the story so far is defense, defense, defense. What do the Titans do to make it tough for the Roadrunners?
Well, it's pretty easy to see. It's the full court press. Linn-Benton already has committed 5 turnovers. They have almost as many turnovers tonight as points. 6 points compared to 5 turnovers. And another thing is converting off of those. Lane has 5 points off of the turnovers. They also are out rebounding by 1, and I think the passing has really been tremendous. Linn-Benton does a lot of their offensive work by getting inside, working through the post, and you know that takes away a lot of the ball movement. Lane has 3 assists. Linn-Benton has none.
Yeah, Lane has just been able to get the assist done. And coming into this game, Lane was averaging 19.3 assists average. They've really stepped that up in the last couple of weeks. They were around 16 and 15 assists per game a couple of weeks ago. Now all the way up at 19.3. And you can see this team is playing a lot better. Lane's doing a really great job. If you could single out a player right now, who's really impressed you?
I mean, Kendra McInich leading, though, with 7. But I think I think it's Kendra McInich. She has 7 points, but Sarah Ball with 6 points and 6 rebounds has also been great so far.
Potential double-double watch for Sarah Ball.
Not only a potential double-double watch, a potential first-half double-double watch for Sarah Ball.
She's over halfway there as we start the second quarter. LBCC, wearing the navy blue uniforms, will start with the basketball. Albie into the corner, Hale. Guarded by McKinney, gives it over now to Krebs. Down to the low block, no good on the shot, Krebs, and inside, and it goes out of bounds. Lane basketball. McKinney, Malone, Cooper, Birch, and Shepley into the game for the Titans. Cooper puts up a 3-ball from the left, goes out to the corner. Shepley tried to save it, but she threw it away to Albie.
Good play there by Albie to be able to get the ball. Noticed that it was going out of bounds, and instead of trying to save it, you know, she knew the Titans player was going to try to save it from going out of bounds, and she did a good job of stealing it away.
Barbie got her pass taken away by Shepley. Up the floor from Malone, a 1-on-4, spinning her way inside, left-hand layup, it's good. What a play by Addie Malone.
Wow, Addie Malone came off the bench today, but averaging almost 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. That's her. that is just her first bucket of the game, but that's a nice one.
She was the leading scorer for the Titans in their last game against Clark. She had 25 points, and today her first shot is a great one. Inside now, Hale finishes on the left-handed layup, and it's 26-8. Titans basketball. McKinney, left lane, goes up with the right hand. The hesitation works. Easy roll in. And a timeout's going to be called. 8:30 to play here in the second quarter. And Lane still leading by 20 right now. And it feels like they're still pulling away.
Yeah, Linn-Benton's inside defense has really, really killed them tonight. They haven't done anything on the interior. You know, I know blocks aren't the best measure of it, but they still haven't blocked a shot yet tonight. And with the amount of times Lane has gone inside, you know, you would expect at least a couple. But Lane's scoring off the dribble has been really amazing.
If you're Gerard Gibson and the Roadrunners right now, obviously you have to make some adjustments, and you call this timeout. What do you do to try to get back into this game? I mean, it's 20 points right now, but there's still a lot of time to be played. In the second quarter, you can make up some ground. What do you got to do right now?
I think offensively, you know, they're doing a good job of getting okay looks. They've shot 7 threes. None of them have been absolutely atrocious looks. You know, they're not just chucking up shots. They're doing a good job of milking the clock down, and I think keep doing that. You know, wait until you get your best shot, and hopefully some of them will start falling.
Titans leading by 20. So far this season, they've been averaging 93.3 points per game. Linn-Benton, well short of that, 63 points per game. And right now we're seeing this to its execution. Last time these two teams played, Lane won 101-79. I was at LBCC. Lane's going to come out. Hamill, Shepley, Malone, McKinney, and Birch. Parks to inbound it for the Roadrunners. She gets it in. Albee bounces it up for Barbie, and a foul in the backcourt. Foul's going to be on McKinney. That's her first foul of the quarter for the Titans. Roadrunner basketball.
You know, that's what you risk with the full court press is you're more likely to try to poke the ball away, and a lot of times you'll pick up those silly reach-in fouls.
Whistle on the floor. Reset the shot clock, they're going to say. So they're going to reset the shot clock to 21 seconds. So it'll be Roadrunner basketball from the far baseline, sideline. They'll throw it in. Krebs at the top. Gives it over to Parks at the point. Looking for a pass. Gives it to the right wing for Krebs. She'll take a dribble to her left. Go back for Parks in the post, but it's out of bounds. Didn't touch anybody, and it's a turnover with 8 minutes.
Krebs actually had a pretty wide open shot there at the top. Instead, she opted to pass it into the post, but the post player there, Parks, wasn't in the right position. It looked like just some bad communication there for LBCC and results in another turnover.
Makinich checks back into the game, gives it to Hamill. To the right wing, Birch. She'll dribble her way into the post. Wide open left-handed layup goes in, and it's 30-8 for the Titans.
It's too easy for Lane right now. You know, they've done such a good job of getting inside, and that continues there. Working off the screen was Birch.
Barbie is fouled. It's a nice play by Albee to throw it up the floor. Barbie is fouled, and they're going to take out from the baseline. 23 seconds on the shot clock. They throw it in. Parks goes up with her left hand and finishes.
Nice finish there by Parks, who is tied for the team lead in scoring with 4.
Malone in the quarter, short, got her own rebound. Crosses up a player, goes in, short on the layup, rebounded by Hale.
Malone tried to be a little too fancy there with that layup. She tried scooping it up and under, but nice job getting her own rebound and trying to attack the basket.
She was able to scoop it up and under earlier, right there, just a little too short. Albee hands it off, three-pointer, it's good. Maddie Ayers with the first three-pointer of the night for the Roadrunners, and it's 30-13. Birch on the left wing, gets a screen from Hamill. She'll put up a three ball, rattles in and responds to the three-pointer from LBC, and we're back to 20 points.
Maddie Birch, who was just sitting at 2 points, is already up to 8 now. You know, she's had a really solid second quarter.
Inside, Albee got it picked away by Malone. Up the floor, a 3-on-2. Malone, a mid-range J, rolls off to the left, tipped out by Hamill, and it'll be Roadrunner basketball, 6:21 to play, second quarter.
But a nice response, you know. Maddie Ayers hit the first three of the night for Linn-Benton, and then on the other end, Maddie Birch pulling up from three, getting a good look and being able to convert. That's big for the Titans.
Hamill almost stole it right in the paint. Instead, knocks it out of bounds. Going to stay here with the Roadrunners. Parks gets it in. Hale. Lane eases on the full court press as Hale brings it to the front court and just hands it back off to Ayers. Gives it back to Hale, right wing, to the top. Albee makes a move on Malone, pulls up from the elbow and drills the 15-footer.
Nice move by Albee there, jabbing to her right and then going to the left, being able to stop at the elbow and finish.
Makinich too strong on the left-handed layup. Barbie the board, able to split the defense and get it to Albee. Back to the top. Hale into the paint, pulls up short, tipped out, ball on the floor, and going to stay here with the Roadrunners. Malone will check out, and Kitty checks into the game. Albee gets it in. Parks throws it down low through the hands of Hale. She saves it out for Barbie. Backing her way in on Makinich, and a travel.
Great defense there by Kendra Makinich, forcing the turnover on Barbie, who just took too many steps. And, you know, she was trying to get inside. She had a little bit of an opening, but not as much as she thought, and took 3 steps there.
33-15, Titans with the lead. Makinich on the right wing. She'll bring it out to the front court to Cooper on the left wing. To McKinney, down to the short corner for Makinich, backing her way in, up to the top for Cooper. Swings it to Birch in the corner. Back out for Cooper on the left wing, hands it off Birch into the corner, not pulling the three-pointer. 3 seconds on the shot clock. McKinney puts it up. At the buzzer, it swishes in.
Phenomenal ball movement there from the Titans. You know, they did that little 2-player game there with Birch on the wing, but was able to get it over to McKinney, who drains her first 3 of the night, and already she's up to 7 points.
Emma McKinney, another solid bench player for the Titans. Rayon will check in. Barbie checks out. 4:43 to play. It's a 21-point lead for the Titans. 29 seconds on the shot clock. The Roadrunners in the backcourt. They get it in for Albee. Double teamed, but getting it up to the front court. Bounces it to Rayon. She'll angle her way inside, kicks it out. Ayers puts up a mid-range J. Short Cooper with the rebound. Makinich up the center of the court, gives it over to Cooper on the left wing. She'll drive her way inside the arc, kicks it up to Birch at the top, out to Makinich, finds a wide open Hamill, mid-range jumper is good.
Wow, once again, that Lane Titans ball movement working to perfection. They swung it around completely around the wing. First, the ball handler dribbling inside, kicking out to the right wing, and then to the left wing, and then into the short corner and a wide open jumper, and Lane converted.
Cooper almost tips it out of bounds. Albee comes up with it, pulls up from the elbow, long teardrop, no good. Cooper comes up with the rebound after it's tipped to her. Makinich up the near side of the court, hands it back. McKinney, a three-pointer, off to the right. Corralled by Albee in the corner as she throws it up the floor for Ayers. She'll bounce it to Rayon, but it's taken away by Makinich, but given right back to Rayon. She'll go up, she's blocked, and Cooper comes up with it. And a timeout's going to be called. 3:32 to play here in the second quarter. And still, it's just Lane domination right now.
Yeah, and on that fast break, it was a good look inside for Linn-Benton, but Kendra Makinich first poking the ball away, tipping it out of bounds, and then she's able to somehow recover and then block the shot inside there. Just phenomenal defense there by Kendra Makinich.
And right now, I mean, it just seems like Lane's getting their way offensively. They're shooting over 40% from three-point and the field right now. Linn-Benton just 1 of 8 from three-point range and 6 of 26 from the field. There's been a lot of turnovers, 9 turnovers by the Roadrunners. What do you think they got to do to really calm that issue down?
It's really hard when Lane's defense is as good as it is. What they do really well is swarm the ball handler. They'll often send 1 to 2 people at the ball handler, and that forces those turnovers when they can't get good looks to other players on their team.
McKinney, Makinich, Cooper, Hamill, and Shepley into the game for the Titans. Makinich at the top, gives it over to Cooper, right wing. Over the left wing, Shepley, she'll put up a three-pointer, short, off to the left. Hamill tries to save it, and it's out of bounds. Roadrunner basketball, 3:16 to play. Lane again, still going with the full court press despite being up by 23 points. Parks angling away to the near side. Fell to the floor and a foul.
Yeah, I think she was called for a block there. I'm not sure I quite agree with that call. It looked like she kind of just, dribbled the ball into the foot of the Titans defender and was unable to get out of it, but it'll reset the shot clock for LBCC.
Raylon at the top. Picks up her dribble. Finds Albee on the right side. Down for Hale. She'll go down to the low block for Parks. Swings it into the corner. Ayers the three-pointer, and she hits. Maddie Ayers, her second three-pointer of the game, and it's 38-18.
Maddie Ayers right now is both of the three-point baskets for LBCC, and she leads them in scoring with 6.
McKinney answers right back with the layup, and the Titans go back on the full court press, and McKinney causes a turnover. Throws it up for Hamill and a whistle. Foul's going to be called on the floor. It's going to be on Raylon, and the Titans will take out from the baseline.
The 10th turnover for Linn-Benton tonight. The defense for Lane has been absolutely terrific. They've barely let the ball pass the half court, and that's a recipe for disaster.
They get in for Hamill. She misses the shot off the backboard, but gets a steal right back on the defensive end. Makinich backs in, gives it to McKinney, and she's fouled.
Man, this Lane defense, they're up 22 right now, and they're not letting down. This game, obviously, it isn't over until it's over, but it's looking pretty good for Lane right now. And with the way the defense is playing, they're not letting LBCC inch their way back into this game at all.
It's a 22-point lead right now as Emma McKinney's at the line. First free throw rattles in, and that's what you see from Emma McKinney all season. She's been really, really good at the foul line. She's shooting 92.4% at the free throw line and goes 2 for 2 on this trip. She had a game earlier this season where she went 14 of 14 at the line. Right here, off to a great start at the foul stripe. Leads up to 24. Cooper's going to check out, and ball checks into the game.
Yeah, Emma McKinney shooting 50, 40, 90 for the season. Not something you see a lot, especially for a lead scorer in college basketball, but she's been terrific for Lane this season.
Albee at the top, kicks it over to the left wing. Ayers, guarded by Shepley. Calling for a screen, instead kicks it to Barbie. She'll drive inside the arc, spin her way free from Makinich, puts up a mid-range J, tipped out, corralled by Hamill. A one-on-one with Parks. Goes up with her right hand off the backboard. Makinich gives it to McKinney after the offensive board. No good on the three-pointer. Shepley corrals it. Throws it up for McKinney. She'll dribble her way down the baseline. Goes up. Can't finish. Ball the offensive board. Puts it up and in. Third time's the charm.
Sarah Ball hasn't been in for a lot of this second quarter, but already up to 8 points and 7 rebounds tonight for Sarah Ball.
And a travel's going to be called on Kathleen Hale 1:19 to play, second quarter.
That's another a lot of the turnovers tonight for LBC have been forced by Lane, but 2 travels recent in this game have been pretty careless for LBCC. And that one, a wide open mid-range jumper, instead of taking it, tried to drive inside, and another turnover for LBCC.
26-point lead for the Titans. Makinich on the right wing gets a screen from Ball, dribbles her way into the paint, out for Shepley at the top. She'll drive her way inside, gets an open look, and lays it in. 46-18 now. Hale up the far side of the court, brings it down to the baseline, goes up with her left hand, got space, and finished it. 46-20, lead back to 26. Makinich out for Malone, jab steps her way into the paint. She finished the basket, but they're going to call the foul on the floor.
Lane just does such a good job of getting their players good looks and spacing out the floor to where they're able to drive inside and get good lanes to the basket.
39.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Malone to inbound it. Gets it in for Makinich. Goes back to the Malone on the left wing. Bounces it down low for Sarah Ball. Lost it momentarily. Handed it off to a wide open Hamill, and she easily lays it in. 48-20.
Sarah Ball, we talk a lot about her scoring and her rebounding, but already her second assist of the game. And, she's just such a dominant offensive force for Lane.
Albee goes up with her left hand off the backboard. Hamill climbed the ladder, and she's fouled. Foul is going to be on Kathleen Hale. That's her first. Team's fourth of the quarter. 15.7 seconds remain. And the Titans will slowly bring it up the floor for the final possession. Their lead is 28 points. Makinich has it with 5 seconds. Gives it to Hamill at the top. She'll go to the right key, into the paint. Fade away at the buzzer. It rattles in. The Titans end the first half on a buzzer beater from mid-range from Bella Hamill, and they lead by 30 points, 50-20.
Yeah, not a bad first half from the Titans, shooting 50% from the field, 33% from three, and forcing 12 turnovers. A 30-point lead is a pretty soft cushion for Lane going into this half.
And right now, I still think the story is the defense. They've just been playing really, really well. And for LBCC, you're going in the half right now. This is your time to make adjustments. What type of adjustments do you want to see made at this halftime break to try to crawl back into this game?
It's hard with how good Lane's defense is. I don't know what adjustments you can make. I think they've tried. They've tried swinging the ball around the perimeter a little more. They've tried feeding the ball in the post. They've tried getting the ball past half court, and a lot of the time that hasn't even worked. So I don't know what adjustments you can really make.
Lastly, just talk about some players for Lane that's really stood out to you. Who's been impressing you? It feels like everybody's getting in on the party. Maybe drop a few guys now.
Yeah, I mean, Emma McKenney leading the way with 11 points, but I think Sarah Ball's been great with 8 and 7, and a lot of that work came in the first quarter. Kendra Makinich started the game hot, and I mean, really, it's just, Maddie Birch, 2 for 3 from 3, 8 points. She's been great.
Right on. That'll do it for us here on the first half of this Lane women's basketball game. The Titans leading 50-20. We're going to step aside for the halftime break, but when we come back, we'll have the second half, and then later tonight, we'll have the men's game for the second half of this doubleheader. You're listening here on the Lane Community College live stream. Welcome back to Lane Community College. Knight Uretsky, Austin Oda with you guys. The Lane Titans currently leading 50-20 at the halftime break. So far, the leading scores for the Titans. Emma McKinney leading the way, 11 points, also has 1 rebound. Maddie Birch, second on the team with 8 points, also tied with Bella Hamill and Sarah Ball, also with 8 points. Hamill and Ball both with 7 rebounds, so both of them will be in double-double watch. Ball, she has 2 assists, so a great game for Sarah Ball. On the other side, Linn-Benton, Maddie Ayers leading the way. She was 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, has 6 points. Everybody else on the team not really having a great game. Hale has 6 points, but not a lot of offense happening for LBCC.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of offense. Only 4 players have actually scored for Linn-Benton so far. So, that contributed to their only 20 points in the first half.
Lane's going to start with the basketball. They go right to Bella Hamill. Right lane. Layup is good. 52-20.
And there's half of the double-double for Bella Hamill. She's the second double-digit scorer for Lane. She's up to 10.
LBCC basketball. Ayers drops it down low. Hankwitz goes up and banks in the shot. Hankwitz was out, I think, the entire second quarter after she got in a little bit of foul trouble, but comes back here in the second half. Hits on her first shot. Makinich backed into the paint, lost the ball. It's a turnover. Corralling it was Hale.
Yeah, Sabrina Albee there on the defense kind of just pulled the chair out from under Makinich. Was able to make Makinich fall. That's the old, pickup basketball move, but it worked perfectly there for Linn-Benton.
Hankwitz under the basket, too strong on the layup attempt. Hamill with the rebound, up the floor. Bella Hamill drops it off. Makinich gives it to Cooper. Gives it over to Birch on the right wing as the Titans will reset. Birch gets a screen from Ball, drives left lane, goes up their left hand, no good off the backboard.
Maddie Birch just missed a wide open layup. Pick and roll with Birch and Hamill worked to perfection, but Birch was unable to finish.
Driving was Albee. Had it knocked off of her, and it's a turnover by the Roadrunners. Great defense again, continuing in this half for the Titans.
Yeah, I don't even think the ball was knocked off of her. I think she just lost the handle there and lost it right out of bounds. But yeah, good defense inside there by Sarah Ball.
Makinich will dribble it up the floor. 8.5 to play, third quarter. Hamill over to Makinich. She'll drive down the left baseline, gets free, and lays it in.
The ball movement from the Titans there, swinging it all the way around the perimeter, getting Makinich open and isolated on the far side wing, was able to drive her way inside and finish a pretty open layup.
And a kick ball is going to be called on Morgan Cooper. Going to keep it here with the Roadrunners. 8:11 to play, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Right now, nothing but smiles from the Lane Community College bench.
Yeah, I can't blame them. Up 32. It's a pretty comfortable lead right now for Lane.
Hankwitz gives it over left wing. Albee back to the top. Ayers drives to the elbow. Out for Hankwitz, a three-pointer. Rolls out. Rebounded by Birch. Up the floor, Makinich angles her way to the left wing, spinning her way inside, picks up her dribble, out for Birch, a three-pointer, bottoms it.
Maddie Birch, already the third Titan in double figures today, as her third 3 of the night gives her 11 points. She has been absolutely tremendous. 11 points tonight for Birch, but that's on 4 of 6 shooting and 3 of 4 from the field. The efficiency is really the key there.
And the sideline catches up on the heel of Ayers. It's a turnover by the Roadrunners. Lane's lead is 35 points, and they have possession.
And, with the way Lane has played all year, averaging almost 100 points a game on the season, they're not going to let down at all here.
Lane is the #1 women's basketball team in the NWAC for a reason, and they're showing it here tonight against LBCC. Hamill, right lane, goes up with the right hand and finishes 59-22.
Bella Hamill does a great job there, finishing inside, going up through traffic, finishing the layup. And she, another very efficient shooter tonight, 6 of 9 from the field, also 8 rebounds.
Parks goes inside. Shot no good from Hale. Knocked out of bounds. Going to keep it here with the Roadrunners. Makinich checks out. McKinney will check in. 6:46 to play, third quarter, 59-22. Lane with a 37-point lead. Hankwitz blocked by Hamill. Lane's standing up on their bench, arguing for a foul. They're not going to get it. Ayers goes back down for Hankwitz, and then Hamill comes up with a steal. And a foul's going to be called on Hankwitz. And the bench of the Titans fired up because they were wanting to foul on Hankwitz the first time. They got the make-up call the second time.
Yeah, you know, on that last play, Bella Hamill there kind of with an accidental block. She kind of just stuck her hands in the air trying to not be called for a blocking foul, but was able to get her hands on the ball and pick up a block. Hamill already has 12 points and 8 rebounds. You know, we could see multiple Titans with double-doubles today.
Technical foul is going to be assessed, so Emma McKinney is going to go to the foul line, shoot some free throws. Connects on the first one.
If you're LBCC right now, there's no use for a technical foul. Down almost 40, giving the Titans a chance at a potential 4 or 5 point swing.
McKinney hits them both. McKinney perfect at the line today.
Yeah, no surprise there from McKinney, who's at 92.4% from the free throw line on the season. One of the most efficient shooters on this team.
Yeah, timeout's going to be called. A funny story. So Emma McKinney went to the line earlier this year. She was shooting about 96% at the line. And I said, you know, Emma McKinney going to the line, pretty much automatic. You know what she did? She missed both free throws. And, you know, that was just...
Broadcaster jinx.
It was a broadcaster jinx, but you got to think about the rarity. For somebody to be shooting 96% at the line and go 0 for 2 on a trip, it was pretty surprising to me. But here tonight, seems like she hasn't had any issues at all at the foul stripe, able to knock them all down. And right now, extend the Lane Titan lead to 39 points, 61-22. It's just all Lane so far here in the second half. What have you seen from the Titans? Is it pretty much the same story?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same story. It's forcing turnovers, LBCC being a little careless with the ball, and then Lane moving the ball around the perimeter allows guards to be able to drive inside because, you know, Linn-Benton trying to come out in a little bit of a zone is allowing penetration to happen. And shout out to the Titans because they still have to convert on all of those inside finishes, but they're doing that pretty perfectly. On the game, they're shooting 53% from the field.
Lane, collectively as a team, shoots 44.8% on average in a game. Right now, shooting above that. One of their better offensive performances with 61 points and not even 4 minutes into this third quarter. Turnover, though. McKinney threw it right to Albee. One of the few turnovers the Roadrunners have caused tonight. Albee drops it off at the high post. Parks had it poked away. Hamill the steal, throws it up the floor for ball. Drives right hand just a little off. Rebounded by Hale. Albee up the near side of the court. Down to the low block and fouled by Ball. Arlie Sorensen's going to check into the game for Ball. Sorensen checks in for the first time. They get it into Hale at the left elbow. Hands it back to Ayers. Long mid-range jumper. No good. Rebounded by Hamill. Throwing it up the floor. Wide open. Maddie Birch under the basket. Lays it in.
Maddie Birch cherry picking a little bit there. You know, we don't see that a lot up 41, but works perfectly for Lane. And there's a reason that they're up 41, and that's part of it.
63-22. Albee, low post, off the backboard. Sorensen grabs it. McKinney kicks it to Birch, right wing, back to McKinney at the top. She'll drive inside the arc, go up with her left hand, rolls it in.
What a finish there. Emma McKinney, you know, coming into the game, she's averaging 14 points a game. Came off the bench today, already has 15, on efficient 15, 5 of 10 from the field, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. She has been absolutely tremendous.
Ayers off to the left on a three-pointer. Barbie trying to save it instead, crashes into her bench, falls over a chair. It's going to be Titan basketball. And yes, Emma McKinney is averaging about 14.3 points per game, and she isn't a starter. She has come off the bench in every single game this season, and she's played the 6-woman role extremely well for the Titans.
Yeah, she's kind of playing a little bit like Lou Williams coming off the bench, handling the ball, being able to put up shots at will, and leading the Titans.
Bella Hamill down the right lane. Answers with a layup, and it's 67-22. The lead is 45 points.
Only 2 points over 5 minutes through this quarter for LBCC. And we thought the defense was good in the first half. How about this in the second?
Parks, though, hits a mid-range jumper. A little bit of an announcer's curse there, as now they got their 4th point. Cooper trying to save it, throws it away to Hale. Up the floor, Rayolan brings it to the left wing. And now looking for a pass. Gives it to Parks, left elbow. Dribbles on Sorensen, picks up her dribble, hands it back. Hale at the 3-point line. She'll drive inside the arc, go up with her right hand off the backboard, no good. Hamill up the floor for Birch, right-handed layup, too strong. Airballed it, but Sorensen picked it up. Her second chance won't go. Rebounded by Albee. 3:50 to play, third quarter, 67-24. Albee down the right lane, got a screen, and then is fouled by Sorensen. Sorensen can't believe it. Her jaw dropped wide open.
Yeah, Arlie Sorensen, the freshman center. In high school, she was the leading blocker in a regional play, averaging 3.1 a game, and she thought she got one of those 3 there, to no avail, but great defense still by this Titans D.
3:42 to play here in the third quarter, and the Titans are leading 67-24, just 4 points in this quarter for Linn-Benton. Their first quarter, they did score 6 points, but right now it looks pretty grim for them. Not a lot happening. 2 of 11 from 3-point range, only 10 of 41 overall from the field. What do you do in this situation? You're down pretty substantially in the third quarter. How do you play?
Oh, I thought they would at least come out and crack a little bit of a different answer here to start the second half, but they just haven't been able to get anything going, and it's hard. Like I mentioned at the end of the first half, they've tried some different things. They've tried working it in the post. They've tried working it around the perimeter, and nothing's really worked, so I'm not quite sure, Knight.
If you're Lane, do you just keep this up? I mean, when's the point where you pull the starters and start filling in the bench even more? Because it feels like the first line of bench players is still picking up where the starters left off.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're already trying to pull the starters a little bit, but like Arlie Sorensen in the game, averaging under a point a game. Never take the pedals off the gas. You never know what really can happen, but right now it looks like that's what Lane's doing, and yet they're still up 43.
Sabrina Albee going to the line. She'll be shooting 2. Misses the first free throw. Albee, a sophomore 5'10" guard out of Joseph, Oregon. That is all the way out in Eastern Oregon. As she makes the second one. 67-25. 42-point lead for the Titans. They give it to Sorensen at the top of the key. Kicks it over to Shepley on the left side. Got a screen from Sorensen and then kicks it to Makinich, on the left wing. She'll drive to the baseline, out to the top. Malone, a three-pointer, short. Tipped out for Makinich. Gives it back to Malone as she'll dribble inside the arc. Out to the perimeter from Makinich to Shepley, a wide-open three-pointer. Just off. Sorensen dragged to the floor, and she's fouled.
What an offensive possession for the Titans, getting 3 offensive rebounds on that possession alone. And then, Sorensen couldn't pick up the last rebound, but she was dragged to the floor, and they're going to have 20 seconds to get another shot up.
Makinich to inbound. On the baseline, tries to get it in for McKinney, tipped away, but Sorensen found it. McKinney pump fakes a 3, and will dribble it back to the front court. McKinney down the right lane, kicks it to the corner. Shepley, three-pointer, splashes.
Sierra Shepley joining the three-point party. That's her first of the night. She's taken 3 already up to 7 points. Shepley's been really solid off the bench.
Shepley has shot the three ball really, really efficiently throughout the year. She's one of the better three-point shooters for this Lane team. As the other way, a shot no good from Davidson, working inside, and Sorensen blocks it from Barbie. Going to keep it here with the Roadrunners. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
And there's Sorensen's defense showing up. She had a really nice play to alter the first shot, was unable to grab the rebound, but then swatted the second one away. And she'll check out after some solid minutes.
Checking back into the game is Sarah Ball. 70-25. Albee, left wing, drives in on Shepley, goes up with the right hand, strong finish. And it's 70-27, their 7th point of the quarter. Makinich gives it to Malone, down the left lane, turns around, finds Shepley at the top, a three-pointer off the heel of the rim, rebounded by Albee. Albee gives it to Davidson. High post, tried to drop it down low for Hale, but a foul is going to be called on the floor. 1:57 to play, third quarter. Foul is going to be on Makinich. That's Lane's third foul. And now Krebs checks into the game, as well as Duckowitz. They throw it in for Duckowitz. Out to the left wing for Albee. Shepley with the defense forces her back into the front court. They hand it off to Davidson at the top. Over to the left wing for Duckowitz. Into the corner. Krebs gets a screen. Thought about a three. Kicked it to the corner. Duckowitz at the horn. Hit the side of the backboard. A shot clock violation for the Roadrunners. And Lane's defense comes up with another stop.
Yeah, once again, this defense is just tremendous. They've done such a good job the whole game. That's only the first shot clock violation, but that's because a lot of the time, you know, they're not even letting the LBCC get up a shot.
Makinich fouled down low. She'll go to the line and shoot two. Foul is going to be called on Blake Barbie. That's her second. Makinich at the line, shooting 68.8% this season. Makes the first one at 71-27. Makinich, a sophomore out of Reno, Nevada, averaging 10.6 points per game as she goes 2 for 2 at the line. Makinich today at 11 points, so right at her average as McKinney will check out.
And here's Lane clearing their bench as Shai Skinner checks in, who's averaging, again, under a point a game. You know, good to see here for Lane, getting some of their deeper bench some big minutes here.
Duckowitz throws it down low for Barbie. Wrestling away free, goes up on Skinner, misses the shot. Ball is on the floor, and coming up with it was Sarah Ball. Malone will bring it up the near side of the court, hands it off to Makinich. She'll angle her way to the center of the floor, goes up and in off the left lane. 74-27. 47-point lead for the Titans. Duckowitz on the right wing, guarded by Makinich, takes a dribble before handing off to Rayalon. Over for Barbie, just inside the perimeter. Using her pivot to her advantage, kicks it to Rayalon at the top. She'll dribble it to the right elbow. 5 seconds on the shot clock, fouled.
Sarah Ball trying to get in on the defensive action there. You know, she started the game hot with 6 points and 6 rebounds in the first quarter, had 2 points and a rebound in the second, and has cooled down a little bit here in the third. She hasn't had any scoring and only has 1 rebound, but still well on her way to a double-double if she stays in the game.
Olivia Pierzina checks into the game for Kedra Makinich as Rayalon makes the first free throw, 74-28. Rayalon misses the second one. Offensive rebound. Davidson can't put it up and in. Ball on the floor, gets the rebound, flips it over to Skinner. She corrals it in the corner. She'll give it to Pierzina. She'll bring it up the floor, driving the right lane, goes up with the right hand, finishes. Olivia Pierzina with the lay-in, 4 seconds now. Barbie goes up, fouled with 1.7 on the shot clock.
Wow, Olivia Perzana coming off the bench, the Eugene native putting up a shot in transition off of the missed free throw. Was able to shove it off the high end of the glass and put it in. Good start to her for the night.
Barbie at the line. And misses the first free throw. One more to go. Barbie, freshman 5'10" guard from Albany. So staying close to home to play at LBCC. As she misses the second one, Skinner comes up with the board, and the horn sounds for the end of the third quarter. The Titans extend their lead as they're up 76-28. They scored 50 points in that first half, 26 points here in the third quarter, and held the Roadrunners to only 8 points in the third. They're starting to go deeper in the bench, but it feels like the Titans just have everything going to their advantage, and LBCC can't figure out this Titans team.
Yeah, Lane is just a little bit quicker than LBCC. Not a little bit. Lane is a lot quicker than this LBCC team. And what they do best is go off in transition, finish those layup baskets, and they've just done a great job of that tonight. I think, you know, a lot of times if you see high-scoring teams, you see low efficiency. But shooting 53% tonight is Lane, 35% from three. They've been doing it on all aspects of the game. They've also forced 16 turnovers.
What would you like to see from the Titans, I guess, here in this fourth quarter?
Have they not proven enough?
I understand, but I feel like at this point in the fourth quarter, you're putting the bench in. What would you like to see from the third-string girls?
You know, more of the same. You know, I think this is a really good opportunity for some of those third-string players to show that they deserve more playing time. You know, Shai Skinner, Olivia Pirzana, girls like that, you know, put in good minutes and show that you're putting in work.
Ball, Skinner, Shepley, Malone, and Pirzana into the game. The LBCC basketball to start. Barbie on the right wing. Drives in on Skinner. Euro steps her way into the paint, misses the layup, and is rebounded by Ball. Pirzana up the floor, kicks it to Shepley. Three-pointer, splashes.
You just love to see that from Pirzana, driving her way into the lane and then finding the open Shepley, who hits her second three of the game. Pirzana showing, you know, just like I was saying, show that you deserve more minutes, and she's definitely showing that tonight.
Rayon to the elbow. Davidson working in on Ball, throws it off the backboard too strong. Barbie comes up with the offensive board, wrestles it free and puts it in. 79-30. Pirzana over to Skinner. Hands it off to Shepley. Pump fakes, gets a screen from Ball. Dribbles to the point before kicking it to Skinner. Back to Shepley. Drives inside the arc. Goes up. Is fouled and going to the line.
Nice drive there by Shepley. We've seen her a lot attacking from outside the arc. She's also hit two shots inside, but she'll get herself to the line for her first free throws.
Harley Sorensen checks into the game. Ball will check out. Shepley at the line. She'll be shooting two. And she'll make the first.
Shepley, an 88% free throw shooter. She's also pretty automatic, on the same level as Emma McKenney.
Yeah, she's a fantastic shooter and goes 2 for 2 at the line this time. And very similar player to Emma McKenney. Hasn't started any games, but provides excellent minutes off the bench and excellent scoring as well. LBCC with the basketball. Barbie gives it to the top. Krebs drives in on Malone. Goes up the right hand, blocked by Sorensen, out of bounds. That fires up the bench.
Yeah, Sorensen already with 2 blocks and limited minutes. You know, she doesn't get a lot of run on this team, but when she does, her impact is felt, especially on the defensive end.
Rayon to inbound, throws it in, tipped away by Shepley. Pirzina comes up with it. She'll dribble it up the floor, kicks it over to Skinner, over to Malone, a three-pointer at the top, off the back of the rim. Pirzana comes up with it. She'll get a screen from Sorensen. Pulls up from the elbow, off to the left, rebounded by Krebs. Krebs dribbles in on Malone, beats the screen, goes down low for Davidson, blocked by Sorensen. Sorensen providing great defense in the post, as Shepley will slow it down at the top, into the corner for Skinner, and dribbles it out to the left wing, up to Malone at the top. She'll drive in on Krebs, jump steps her way inside, and lays it in off the glass.
What a move there by Malone, finishing inside, but really it was the dribble move that set it up, just isolating on her defender, really sizing her up, and was able to get herself inside for an open two. Addie Malone, 6 points off the bench.
Air ball from Krebs in the corner. A foul's going to be called on Barbie, and it'll be Lane basketball. And absolutely, Hattie Malone, she's only 5'2", but the way that she's able to work inside, be shifty as a guard, has been really impressive. She's gotten herself free on a couple of looks like that play. And, in this game, she isn't scoring as much as she has so far this season. She's averaging 12.5 points per game. Right now, only with 6. But she still played some really good minutes for the Titans. And as you can see, she just hit a screen, frees up Shepley, and her corner three's no good. Shepley causes a foul on Raylon, and it'll be Roadrunner basketball. .7:05 to play. 53-point lead for the Titans, their largest of the game. Raylon almost traveled. Finds Duckowitz. Trying to go down low for Davidson. Gets it there. Davidson goes up on Sorensen and hits it off the glass and in. Lane pressing immediately. Irzana to the top for Skinner. To the right wing for Malone as they'll reset. Shepley at the point, drives down the left lane, goes up with the right hand. Good defense by Raylon, a missed shot by the Titans. And up the floor, Krebs brings it. Duckowitz, guarded by Skinner. Right wing gives it to the top, Raylon. Got a screen, pulls up from the elbow, gives it over to Krebs now on the right wing. Travel.
Yeah, Krebs nearly walked on the possession before. I think she walked, but definitely took a couple more steps than she should have there. And another turnover for Linn-Benton. That's already their 18th of the night.
Irzana, right lane, up and in.
It's pretty clear. If you come to Lane Community College to play basketball, you've got to be able to score inside. And every single one of these Titans players does a great job of finishing layups.
Foul is going to be called. Krebs is the one that got fouled. Malone whistled. It's her first, second team. Olivia Pierzina has done a really good job coming off the bench.
Yeah, she's been great. 4 points, a rebound, an assist. She's been the primary ball handler when she's been in the lineup and has really run that point to perfection.
Long mid-range jumper, no good from Duckowitz. Pierzina comes up with it. Changing directions, kicks it to Shepley. She'll drive baseline, teardrops it in.
Man, Sierra Shepley has been so good tonight. She's already up to 14 points. Another bench player for these Titans that just does everything so well.
Steal from Pierzina, pokes it free, left-handed layup, falls in.
Wow, she has been so good tonight. 6 points already off the bench, still with 5 minutes to go, and she's really led this defense as well.
89-32, 57-point lead for the Titans. Inside, Davidson got free. Lane's arguing for a travel. They don't get it. The shot is good from Davidson, and it's 89-34, excuse me. Malone crosses up Duckowitz, gets free inside, lays it in.
Yeah, that's a bad matchup there. Madison Duckowitz is not nearly as quick as Addie Malone, and she did a great job. The same size-up move, dribbling from her left to her right and finishing inside.
Duckowitz drives in on Pierzina. Up to the top. Raylon got it poked away by Skinner. The Titans another turnover. And Lane will slow things down as Malone crosses it up, gives it to Skinner, hands it off to Shepley, left wing. Gets a screen, pulls up for three, connects.
Wow.
Timeout's going to be called. 4:02 to play, fourth quarter. Lane, 94 points. LBCC, 34 points. 18 points for the Titans, and we're not even 6 minutes into this quarter. The third stringers, they're still getting it done.
Yeah. I'm a little bit speechless about how good Lane has been tonight. And it's just all throughout their lineup. No one has come in and provided poor minutes. Everyone has really added a positive impact to this lineup.
Lane, you know, they're number one for a reason. They're 22-0, about to be 23-0, 13-0 overall in their conference. They're 32-1 in their last 33 games, and the only time they haven't won by more than 20 points was one time this season against Clackamas, who was number 2. I just think it's a little unfair at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think that Lane is really in a class of their own, and the thing that they do best is focus on their depth, and everyone can score. You look through their scoring in their lineup. Addie Malone, 13 points a game. Kendry Makinich, 11 points a game. Emma McKinney, 14 points a game. You know, you go through this entire lineup. Those aren't even all starters. You know, they've got so many bench players providing phenomenal minutes for them, and that's proved true tonight as well.
LBCC basketball. Right wing. Davidson gets it to Duckowitz. Back out. Run. Going down low. They find it to Krebs in the corner. Up to the top. Duckowitz puts up a three-pointer. Airballed. Barbie saves it, but right to Pierzina. .330 to go. Malone gets a screen from Sorensen. Stops at the foul line. Case of the corner. Day. A three-pointer. Airballed. Krebs up the near side of the floor for the Roadrunners. Pierzina knocks it out of bounds. Going to keep it here with the Roadrunners. 3:13 to play. It's a 50-point lead for the Titans right now. Excuse me, 60-point lead for the Titans. It's their largest of the game. And a foul is going to be called on Krebs, an offensive foul. Malone jogs up the floor, and her bench giving her a round of applause.
LBCC just can't catch a break right now.
No, they cannot. Pierzina kicks it to Skinner. A three-pointer. Just rattles out. Malone, the offensive board, puts it up and in. Who would have thought that the 5'2 Malone would have come down with the rebound? But she found her way inside, and it's 52-point lead for the Titans.
Man, this Lane team is so good offensively.
Duckowitz, she'll put up a three ball from the top, off to the left. Barbie, the offensive board, off the glass, no good. Pierzina up the floor and slows things down. Day gets a screen from Sorensen. Left lane, goes up. Won't get the roll. Sorensen offensive rebound. Goes up, is fouled and going to the line.
You know, you don't see it a lot in college basketball that teams average almost 100 points a game, but it's pretty easy to see why. Lane is just so dominant on the offensive end, and it's defense that turns into offense for Lane. That's been really the key tonight.
Arlie Sorensen at the line, shooting 2. Makes the first one, 97-34. Greg Sheely and the Lane Community College Titans got to be pretty happy right now as Sorensen makes the second one, 98-34. Greg Sheely has been really, really good for the Titans. 19 straight 21 seasons, 8 Southern Regional titles, 4 31 seasons as LBCC gets a basket. Also 5 NWAC championships, and right now they're in good position for number 6. Pierzina down to the baseline, spinning her way free. Count the basket and one.
And there's 100 for Lane.
The 100th point comes from Olivia Pierzina.
Olivia Pierzina
Misses the shot.
already up to 8 points off the bench. You know,
4 or 5 also.
yeah, she has been so good, especially, you know, running that point, playing great defense, coming off the bench, just such a spark plug here for Lane. Not that they needed it.
Barbie, low block, out to the top. Rayon into the paint. Long floater, banks it in. The 38th point of the game for the Roadrunners comes just over a minute and a half left in this game. Lane with a 62-point lead. Closing seconds of this basketball game. Skinner drops it off. Sorensen can't lay it in. Got a wide open look.
Yeah, the pick and roll worked perfectly there, and that's something that Lane has done really well tonight. They just couldn't finish the layup.
Day fouls and count the basket for the Roadrunners. They finally catch a break. Mary Davidson going to go to the line for an and one play.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be a little too late for LBCC.
I think you're right. Davidson bricks it off the backboard. Lane basketball. Minute 08 to play, fourth quarter. It's a 60-point lead for the Titans. Here's Zina. Hands it off to Malone. Crosses her way inside. Back out for Skinner. Got a screen from Sorensen. Kicked it to Pierzina in the near corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Skinner drives down the right lane. Contested shot into the corner. Day in the short corner. Misses it completely. Run the board after the air ball. Davidson out to the top. Run a three-pointer. Off to the left. Skinner the board. Hands it to Malone. She'll dribble it up the front court. And the Titans can hold and close this game out. That's what they'll do. So the Titans are going to win this game 100-40, a 60-point victory for Greg Shealy and the Titans. One of their most dominant performances this season. The Titans coming up, they're going to face off against Clackamas on Saturday. That should be a good game. Clackamas, again, earlier this season, it was a 86-81 victory for their Titans. It was their closest margin of victory all season. But this one tonight, all Titans. Austin, I'll just give you the floor. Talk about this Lane team, who really stood out, and just what led to this dominant victory.
I mean, where do I even start? You know, the first quarter was Sarah Ball, who finished with 6 points and 6 rebounds. Ball ended the game tonight as the 8th leading scorer for the Titans. Sierra Shepley coming off the bench with 17. Emma McKinney coming off the bench with 15. Addie Malone, Olivia Pierzina coming off the bench with 8. Really was everyone the whole way. Bella Hamill had a double-double of 14 and 11. Kendra McInich had 13. Maddie Birch had 13. And really, it was just, I mean, it was all-out dominance. There wasn't a time in this game where the outcome was in question. Linn-Benton had 20 turnovers, and Lane scored 31 points off of those. It was just outright dominance for Lane.
That'll do it for us here for the first game. We're going to have the men's game coming up at the half-hour mark. Be coming up around 7 o'clock. Knight Uretsky, Austin Oda, it's been a pleasure for you guys. We'll see you guys in about 30 minutes for the men's game. Lane women's dominate 100-40.